Let me show you how to make money fast in Star Citizen 319 doing prospector mining. Here is my prospector loadout. About the most important thing is going to be the Atlas drive, which can be picked up at Hurrell 5. I've tried all the new rebalanced mining heads and I love the Hostede S1 paired with the Ryger C3 module. It is totally glorious. This module will give you a plus 125% to your mining laser power. The Hofstede comes with a minus 30% resistance, a plus 20 optimum charge window, as well as a negative 30 to your inert materials gathering. That's win. Most of the laser heads have a 20 to 25% minimum charge. This one has a 5%. You're gonna love it. So now where do you want to mine? You are definitely going to want to go to the Crusader system. You can pick any one of the 3 moons. We're going to go to Daymar. Let's drop in at SCD-1. A lot has changed in Star Citizen 319 when it comes to prospector mining, but never fear, it's actually kind of awesome. As I hunt around for a really good patch, let me go over a few things that you definitely want to know. Let's say you want to rent a prospector. Now, before it was absolutely brutal to rent a prospector and try to turn a profit. Right now, though, in Star Citizen 319, you can make a freaking killing with a rented prospector. So yes, you can actually do that now. Okay, so you say I can actually run a prospector, but how can I turn a profit? Well, it's quite simple. The majority of these patches will already have purples just laying out on the ground that you can just fly over and scoop, and I'm telling you, there are patches all over the place, so finding all the purples you want with some really good elements inside them is super easy. So why mine in the Crusader system? Well, it's quite simple. Every single system like Microtech, R-Corp, Hurston, as well as Crusader will all have a certain type of common that happens to spawn more often than anything else. These common drops are going to be stuff like beryl, quartz, copper, iron, and titanium. Now, titanium sells for the most, and you can only really find that in the Crusader system, so might as well come mine here because it's better. Now, I've got a little bad news for you on the Quantanium front. They most definitely made that much more rare than it ever was in any of the other patches that I've ever played. The slight upside to it being so rare is it's worth much more now, so when you do find it, you're gonna make a freaking killing. And trust me, you're gonna find some. I've even found some purples just like laying around on the ground. Alright, so we've literally just got here just a little while ago. We've already found a really good patch that we're most definitely gonna mine. Now, the upside to having the Hofstede as well as the Ryger module is that you can crack rocks that are far bigger than you should be able to crack due to that 125% to your laser power. And I tell you what, that can make all the difference in the world because I can crack rocks that are just a little bit over 10k solo, and that is a lot more rocks that I can now crack just due to having that Ryger module on there. Patch is totally scanned. Let's go over here and mine this one that's a little bit over 8k. It's got a whole boat ton of laranite as well as titanium. That's gonna make us a bunch of money. The first thing you want to do is align your optimum charge window. There's a little white dash in there. That's the distance you're going to want to be before you turn on your mining laser. Once on, it will start out at its lowest laser intensity, mines 5. Let's get this cranked up to 100 and start cooking this rock. One thing I have noticed about cracking rocks in Star Citizen 319 is that you definitely want to leave your laser in the exact spot like the entire time. Doing stuff like drawing little circles or doing the side-to-side method in order to try to add more heat to the rock doesn't really work. It actually does the exact opposite. To me, it really does seem like the heat of your laser just continuously penetrates through into the rock, and the longer that you keep it in that same area, the deeper it will penetrate and the hotter you can get it. Little tidbit of information: if you're like me and you like to prospector mine in packs like the good old days, you can still actually do that as long as your pack isn't greater than 2 prospectors together. Make sure at least one of you has a Hofstede laser. That will actually give you a bigger green window, which counteracts the whole, if you have two different lasers on it, it makes the charge window smaller. Yeah, it doesn't really matter until you stack that third person in there. Once you have 3 different lasers on the exact same rock, well, I'm sorry, you can't crack it. It doesn't matter what size it is or how small it is. My buddy Wartech rented a prospector. Him and I went out together and we were able to easily crack rocks that were over 20k as a team. That means you can crack even more rocks, which makes it even faster. So how fast can you pound out these trips now? Well, you're not really trying to only search for Quantanium. And everywhere you go on any of the moons or planets, you can't go hardly anywhere without tripping over a huge patch of these mineable rocks. And almost every one of these patches, no matter which moon you're going to mine on, is going to have borax, bexolite, havestonite, agricium, terranite, laranite. I mean, it's ridiculous, and they all have it. But I like mining here because titanium is the common drop, and it's worth about 2.5 to 3 times as much as all that other stuff. When I'm out in the field prospector mining, the funny part is looking for the rocks to mine is actually the shortest part of the process. Like, it is super easy to find a whole bunch of rocks to mine that are going to make you a ton of money. The trade-off is you're not going to have a 32 SCU full cargo bay of Quantanium anymore, but the trade-off is you're going to spend far less time in the field, which means many, many more trips to the refinery stacking up those orders. And when you do find that yellow rock of Quantanium or some purples laying on the ground, well, it's worth a freaking fortune now, so it's a total bonus when you do end up finding it. It's just not really your main focus anymore, which, it's kind of unfortunate, but I really, really do like these mining changes. It's just funny that a single location like Lyra is no longer king anymore. Now it's just a single system with 3 moons in it. It's the same but different, but the same and different. Anyways, had a huge mental block and forgot that I had another really good rock here and scooped up a whole bunch of 100% titanium pieces and got a little bit inert. That was really stupid. This could have basically been a full load of laranite. That is just a total pity, and it is what it is. Now, well, let's just scoop up the rest of this stuff. I'm going to get back to the refinery, get this order going, and then we're going to deliver the 8 orders that I have stacked up. Seriously, if you're an old grizzled veteran or a brand new player doing prospector mining in Star Citizen 319, you're going to absolutely love it. Generally, when I'm creating a refinery work order, I will go with either Dink Solventation or Ferron Exchange. Generally, I go with Ferron Exchange more often than not. For this order, I'm actually going to go with Ferron Exchange. All the other 8 orders, in order for me to get them delivered today, I actually did electrolysis, which is a medium. I ended up losing quite a bit of my materials just so I could show you all delivering a bunch of stuff. So basically, probably ended up losing about 125k just to get my money faster, which is, you probably shouldn't do that. I can smell all that money. First sell location is going to be in Hurston just to see how cool the city looks, and then after that we're going to head over to Area 18 and see the changes there. For a second I thought I was going to get robbed of all this beautiful scenery because Hurston is always so cloudy and smoggy, but once you get below the level, man, the city looks really good. Sadly though, man, I just have to be that guy. I really wish CIG would focus more on the playability and people being able to actually connect to the servers to test the game. I'm thinking that would be a far better thing than making Hurston look cool, but hey, maybe that's just me. Cha-ching, made it to the TDD. Let's see how much we can make with an almost full load on the MSR. Now, first we're going to sell the common element, which is the titanium. It looks like we're getting 511 each per piece of titanium. That's going to come out to a little over 24k. Next for the borax, it looks like we're getting 3.63k per unit. We're going to only have 8 SCU. That's 29k. Borax used to be the second most valuable mineral in the game. Now not so much. Hephaestonite comes in at 2.75k per unit. That's 77k right there. That's really good. Laranite and Terranite now have a different value right now, with Laranite not being worth as much at 3.11k per unit. And that's a total of 21.8k. Bexlite is now the third most valuable mineral in the game, coming in at 7.82k per unit. That's 15.6k. You'll get 2.59k for each unit of Agricium, and that's only a little bit there, but that's still another 5.1k. Now let's head over to Area 18 and sell this second load. Unfortunately, it's dark at Area 18, so we can't check out the really cool skyline that supposedly is in place right now. So yeah, couldn't see the skyline as I was coming in, but I'm telling you right now, the tram ride is actually freaking glorious. Man, is it really cool. One thing I did notice while selling here at Area 18 is the prices are relatively similar on most of it, but there are slight differences, not enough to really impact the bottom line that much, but yeah. This Quantanium here, I only have 3 SCU after refining, and that is worth 66.7k. That's just totally disgusting. I love it. Considering that was just a random purple that I scooped up off the ground, yeah, not complaining at all. We actually did really good for an afternoon of prospector mining in Star Citizen 319. Let me know what you think about these mining changes down in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you have to say. Well, guess there's only one thing left to do, save myself from having to fly back. If you thought this video was helpful, please check out this next one. You're gonna love it.